here after the end of a 3-day test on my new race bike for 2014. Now I'm very lucky to be racing a BMW HP4 this year, and I'm going to be racing for BMW Park Lane, who've supported me since 2010. The idea this year isn't to follow a championship, it's just to go along to 10 race meetings at circuits I like. I'm going to split them between Thundersport GP1 and the Hot Tracks Power Bike Tour. I'm going to do 5 of each. And the focus of the year will be the HP4 and living with the electronic suspension and how it compares with static suspension at the English tracks that I know and love. The Almeria test day I've been to is all part of a thing called BMW Race Camp, which is run by German track day company Bike Promotion. Now it's a month-long event called the BMW Test Camp, and you can go along and ride any kind of BMW, from Tourers to adventure bikes to S1000s around the track. And then there's a 3-day slice of that which is called the Race Camp, which is what we've been to, and that's where BMW racers are invited to come along and test their bikes and take advantage of all the knowledge from all the BMW staff that are on hand, most of whom actually are involved in the development of the S1000RR and the HP4 in the first place. Now this is my first test on the bike. It's completely stock when I turned up at Almeria, and to be honest, we've done very little to it. It's basically got all BMW parts on. There's very few aftermarket parts on it, except the SBS brake pads, which I'll talk about in a minute. And all the rest of the bits and bobs are all either standard, like the steering damper, the quick shifter, all the suspension units, all that kind of stuff is standard. The bike out the crate is fantastic, very easy to ride, really lovely steering. The suspension on it is very clever, from the way it works to the way you adjust it to the way you kind of deal with it really. Suspension changes as you go along, but you can also manually change the preload on it. You can obviously change the ride heights on the bike, and also you can go into the system and change the compression and rebound damping. As it was, I tested my bike pretty much standard, completely standard rear shock. Had too light a spring in for me really, 8.5 kilos. I really want a 9 kilo. And the fork springs were actually changed to 10.5 kilos from 9.5 I think. So I kind of had a front end that was working properly and a rear end which could have been better, but it was still really good. And I also got to try the BMW HP power kit and calibration kit, which basically improves on the standard electronics by giving you more adjustment. You can get into the ECU and play about with all the parameters, from the suspension to the throttle response, the traction control, the gear shifter, the launch control parameters. The list goes on. It's an incredible system. We changed the ride heights, which is actually the complete opposite to what you'd imagine the ride height should be on the bike. You actually have to have it with its back quite low and the front quite high. You'd think it'd be slow steering, but the BMW is quite a front heavy bike anyway, so you need to take some weight off the front for it to be good at full lean. The HP4's got uprated calipers, Brembo monoblocks. The standard brake pads are really good, to be honest, but the SBS dual Sinter pads are even better. Really powerful, loads of feel and no fade. We were on Dunlop slicks, Dunlop N-Tech slicks, medium hard rear and a medium front. Really durable, really good straight out the box. They drop a little bit after about 10 laps and then they're just consistent all day. And we're playing with the data logger, which I've had before in an S1000RR, but there's a couple of extra parameters on the data logger for the HP4, which includes suspension movement. and that's really clever because it kind of shortcuts setting up your suspension. You can see what the suspension is doing around the track. It kind of takes the guesswork out of what you should be doing. Beat my best ever time by 2 seconds, which is a lot. But so far, it's been a very good start to the year.